Hey, 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 it's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you have had an absolutely wonderful and amazing week. For those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live, welcome back. For those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, it's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. We are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And for those of you who are watching the replay on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube, be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe. So it's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. And for those of you who are brand new to Mental Health Moment is all about how do you work on becoming the best version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for the people around you. Life gets busy, it's hectic. We're all running around doing different things, right? But it's really, really important, as you know, for Mental Health Moment for us to make sure we're taking time for ourselves as well. So again, welcome, welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I'm going to go through a couple of quick announcements and then I will start today's mental health moment. So number one, May 21st in Daytona Beach, Florida, I will be speaking at the Who is Jay Mental Health Symposium. So if you're in the area or plan to be in the area, be sure to register for that. You can register at whoisjay.org, whoisjay.org is where you can go to register for that. Looking forward to that event. And I will be speaking about burnout prevention. How can we work on better taking care of ourselves emotionally and mentally? And how can we think about the steps that we really need to take in order to start making some changes in our lives, which it is very possible. As I always say on Mental Health Moment, right? It's a process, but I'm excited to speak at that conference about that particular topic. So again, whoisj.org for that. And I am super excited to announce, and thanks for those who are starting to join here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I am super, super duper excited to announce that I told you all, I think last week, I told you all about the challenge that I'll be hosting coming up here, which is crazy. It's like 2 days from now. It'll be May, which is insane. But nonetheless, May being Mental Health Awareness Month, I'll be hosting a Mind Reset Challenge. It's a 30-day Mind Reset Challenge for the month of May. So it is free to join. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to go to mindresetchallenge.com. So mindresetchallenge.com. If someone could just put that in the comments, that would be awesome. It's mindresetchallenge.com. And all you have to do is download the toolkit. It has exactly what we're going to be doing for the next 30 days, starting from May 1st, actually, for Mental Health Awareness Month. So you can go to that site. Like I said, it's completely free. Download the 30-day Mind Reset Challenge toolkit. You'll see what to do. And then what I'm going to do for the community is I will be on my personal social media. So obviously this is Black Women Empowered Incorporated that you're watching right now. But I will be on my personal platforms, which is on the screen here. It's at Dr. Nikisha Hammond. And for those of you who may be listening, it's DrNekeshiA Hammond. So on all social media platforms, I will be going live during the month of May every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if someone could also put that in the chat for me, that would be awesome. So Mondays in May, it'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will be live on all my social media platforms on Dr. Nikisha Hammond platform. So whether you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, I will be live on there checking in with you all with this Mind Reset Challenge that we're going to do for the month of May. And the reason why this is important is because, again, I've talked about it before, a mental health moment, but a lot of us, which is nothing wrong with it at all, a lot of us take the time to do physical detoxes. I'm all, about that. That's awesome. That's still a part of health, of course, but we neglect our mental and emotional health. And we don't take the time to sit down and really be like, hold on, let me take a step back. Right. So We're gonna do this together. And the challenge is there's different things to do each day, but they're not things that are gonna take you hours and hours of time. I know we're all busy. I get that. Every second I get when I spread information about mental health, as many of you know who are not new to mental health moment, is usually something quick that we can do, right, to reset and recharge, like reset our minds and our bodies, right? That's what we talk about in mental health moment. So again, you can go to mindresetchallenge.com, get the toolkit, download that toolkit, and it'll tell you starting from day 1 all the way to day 30 what we're going to be doing. And then again, I'm going to be checking in with you all every Monday for the month of May, 7 p.m. Eastern on at Dr. Nikisha Hammond social media platforms. So LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'll be live on any of those platforms that you want to meet me on. Okay. So that's my announcements. Super excited about that. As I mentioned, it's going to be great. I'm so excited to do this with you all. It's open to anyone. By the way, you can share this information as well. It's open to anyone in the community, not just BW, but anyone, right, in the community. So, all right. So on today's mental health moment. Oh, and by the way, thanks for those who are still starting to join here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I unfortunately am not here live today because I do not have a clone yet, you all. And I cannot be in 2 places at once. I really, I say that all the time to you all, but sometimes, wow, I really wish I could be. But I can't right now, this moment in time. So I will actually during our normal 8 p.m. Eastern mental health moment time, I will be a part of a virtual town hall that a couple of organizations are getting together and hosting because some of you may have heard of the tragedy that happened very close to us at Florida State University and the mass shooting that occurred. As you can imagine, as a community, it's been just difficult. It's very impactful, of course, to the students who, have gone there, families who are affected, children and teens that are about to go there. Like it's a lot. There's a lot going on, and I live in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. So, nonetheless, I will be on that virtual town hall, which conflicts with our normal mental health moment. So that is why I'm not here live with you all. But stay tuned because I will get in today's mental health moment, of course, with you all. Okay, so today's mental health moment. I wanted to talk to you all about how to work on silencing your inner critic. Because how many of you have maybe struggled with that? And it's okay if your answer is yes. How many of you have had conversations with yourself, because we all do, that are negative or they're very critical or they're just things that you shouldn't be saying to yourself, right? That's that inner critic. And while it's okay for us to examine ourselves and reflect and think about things maybe we should have done something differently or what we wanted to happen or didn't happen, all those sorts of things, those are normal thoughts. But when it really gets to the point where maybe you're bashing yourself, maybe you're telling yourself so many negative things, maybe you can't concentrate, or maybe it's affecting your work or your family life or whatever it is that you have responsibilities of in life, that's when okay, hold on a minute. Let's make some changes. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips today on that. So number one is to work on identifying what it is that you're criticizing yourself about. Because a lot of times, and you may or may not know, which is okay, but a lot of times there's a pattern in the way we think. So you might be telling yourself a very common thought might be in some way you're telling yourself you're not good enough or you're not blank enough. You're not this enough. You don't it's like sometimes it's comparison. Why aren't you like this person? Why aren't you like that person? Like there's a lot of thoughts, negative thoughts that go through your head, but the first step is to really take a pause and start to examine what is it that you have been criticizing yourself for. Sometimes people will name it as in like let's say it's just this doubting person, like you just have so much self-doubt. And you might say that's your doubting Deborah, for example, like, right? Like if you want to do that, you can also name it because what happens is when you set a name, or when you really recognize it, which is step one, then you have an opportunity to, secondly, when you catch yourself in those critical moments, to work on changing your thought process. Again, this is not an overnight process. I feel like I say that every single week to you. I'm like, it's not overnight, because it just really isn't when it comes to personal development. Some of what I teach on mental health moment, frankly, you can, start to implement in your life. There's lots of wellness tips for those of you who are new each and every week. Some of it will work for you, some of it won't. Sometimes it's like, you know what, this is just not enough. You need to reach out to a mental health professional, because this is definitely not a substitute for therapy, by any chance. I mean, by any means. So, but just things for you to consider, right? So working on recognizing, okay, I know I recognize, right, when I have this self-doubt, or I recognize that I'm starting to blame myself, or I'm starting to think that I'm just really not good enough, when really you are, right? And not recognizing your strengths, because we all have strengths. Sometimes we think, because if you fall into a category where you're very, very self-critical, you think that you have all these flaws, but the reality is, first of all, everybody has flaws. Nobody's perfect. And also there's a lot of strengths that you have that sometimes you don't pay attention to as much as you should, right? So, um, so that's what I would say is the first thing, to recognize, okay, what is it? What is my thought process? Like, what is it that I'm really criticizing myself for? The second thing is, you know, how do I better understand that? So let me give you an example. So one of the things when I was working more in detail with my own thought process, if you will, just sometimes we tell ourselves all sorts of things that are not true, right? It doesn't make it true just because you think it doesn't make it true. But just working on, like, not I am a failure, but I was like, I would tell myself things like, okay, I'm failing at this. I'm failing. And what happens accidentally is sometimes you can start to think like you're a failure, or you're not accomplishing this goal. There's this book, actually I have to get it. I think it's called The Gap and the Gain, something like that. I should have looked it up before I talked to you all today, but it can be sometimes how we tend to focus on the gap to get to our next goal, whatever that is, instead of the gain, meaning look how far it took, like, look how far you've come, right? But sometimes we don't do that. And then we start to get self-critical, like, oh, I can't believe I, fill in the blank, don't have this, don't have that, I'm not where I want to be. Like, all these things start to happen because we're focused on the wrong thing sometimes. So, so instead, you can tell yourself things like, okay, wait a minute, ask yourself, like, is this really true? Like, when you tell yourself, like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not this enough, or I'm not that enough. And you're like, wait, is this really true? No, it's not true. Right. Like, you start to look at the facts that really mean it's not true about you. Right. And thirdly, one of the things that can be helpful for you is to think about, um, if you were to talk to a person that you cared about a lot, would you talk to them the way if you have harsh and critical thought process, would you talk to that person of yours that you care about the way you talk to yourself, right? So do you have to ask yourself that? And sometimes that can help you to understand, like, wait a minute, why would I talk to myself like that? I wouldn't talk to my best friend, or my child, or my significant other, or my um whomever it is for you that you care about in your life, your family members. You wouldn't talk to them like that, so why would you be talking to yourself like that, right? And it's just something to help you uh get back into a better thought process. Again, not something that is overnight. It absolutely takes time, and it takes practice. And then the good news is, once you practice over and over and over, things start to shift. You start to recognize, wait a minute, here I am with this negative thought process. Let me try to change some of these thoughts. Let me try to get out of it. Let me try to understand my strengths. Let me focus today, right? Give yourself certain days where you're like, you know what? No, I'm just going to focus on the good parts of who I am and my strengths and how far I've come. Allow yourself to have those moments, right? And like I said, for some of you, we're all at different places in our wellness journey, as I always say. But for some of you, it's maybe that overwhelming feeling, the negative thinking, or if it's anxiety or sadness, or wherever you're at in your wellness journey, maybe if it's just too heavy and too much, you do need to reach out to a life coach or a mental health professional, depending on what is going on with you. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know there's a stigma of mental health. I get it. I've been in the field for 16 years now, but you are okay. Like, you are allowed to receive help and the way that works best for you and allows you to thrive as a person. So you're allowed to thrive. You're allowed to have happiness. You're allowed to be emotionally healthy. You're allowed to have joy. You're allowed to have all those things. It doesn't always have to be you being stuck in your head and being very self critical. You're allowed to tell yourself positive things too. Okay. So I wanted to share that with you today. And I also share this personally with you because I used to really struggle with the inner critic, like just saying all sorts of like ridiculous things to myself until one of the things that helped me honestly was thinking like, okay, I would never talk to my son like this. Like I adore that little boy. Actually, he's taller than me now. So he's not little anymore. But I adore my child so much. And I would never talk to him the way that I used to like talk to myself and that inner critic just shining through. I would never do that. So why would I talk to myself like that? Right. Again, it's not an overnight process, but it is a journey and it can be done. You can overcome it. Again, sometimes it's by yourself doing your own work, inner work. And sometimes it's with the help of someone else. Either way is okay. And you're allowed. Um, so so as I wrap up today's mental health moment here, well, a couple things. First, I want to remind you if you're tuning in or if you tuned in a little bit later and you didn't hear the announcements at the beginning, to join, I'm hosting a 30-day mind reset challenge. You can get all the information, download the toolkit at mindresetchallenge.com. It is free. It will show you for starting May 1st, which is the beginning of Mental Health Awareness Month. We are going to do this challenge together for 30 days. We're going to reset ourselves. We're allowed to reset. We're allowed to recharge, right? And mindresetchallenge.com. You go and get the toolkit every Monday for the month of May. I will be live on Dr. Nikisha Hammond social media outlets, all my socials. So Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram, all four of them. I will be live. So whatever platform you enjoy on social media, meet me on there Mondays during the month of May at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be checking in with all of you that are doing this challenge for Mental Health Awareness Month, which is one of my favorite months of the year, of course. So I will see you there. I was going to say I'll see you next Tuesday, but actually next Monday will be the first time I'll be live on Dr. Nikisha Hammond platform. And then, yes, I will be back here live on next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. So have an amazing rest of your week. Be blessed. I hope to see you next Monday for the challenge. And I hope you, no matter what day you see this, you might see the replay on YouTube. It's all good. Just start. Right. If you're like, oh no, I missed a couple of days, right? Because I'm watching this replay, it's all good. If you see this on May 5th, all good. Still start, right? Because we're going to do this all month long for May. Okay. Be blessed. I will see you all next Tuesday. I'll see you all next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you guys next week.